So I was having a conversation with one of my friends a few days ago about just the different eras and the different phases that sports has gone through and how it has evolved since when we were playing ball, like in the early mid 2000s. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to come and talk to you guys about, as far as just how everything has grown and progressed. And I specifically remember one of my teammates, he had his father at the game filming all of the home games, and he did it from a VCR tape. And at the end of the season, he would put all of the games, he would transition them from a VCR tape to DVD to purchase all of the DVDs from the season, which was probably about 4 or 5 of them, but it totaled out the full season, which was about 10 games. And I remember getting recruited, going on visits to different colleges, and I remember the coaches like, hey, you got any film? You know, send it my way or email it to me or whatever. And back then, you know, film was film. It was more word of mouth back then. And if you had film, it was great, whatever, but the college coaches was actually coming to visit you and coming to watch you play. I mean, they still do now, but back then, before the bloom of social media and photographers and videographers, like, the college coaches was really coming to you. So I remember specifically having a handful of DVDs and just being like, bro, like, how do I extract film from this? Like, what does that even look like? And back then, social media and videography, photography had evolved into what it is now, but I really had no clue. And I say all that to say that because right now, the newer generation, and I think because the fact that they were born into the bloom of social media, they were born into, you know, a heavily saturated area of like having a load of sports performance trainer to pick from, a load of photographers and videographers to pick from. I think they failing to kind of realize that this is still something important that you need. You still need to work out and be strong. You need to have a coach to help you with strength and conditioning, speed and agility. You still need to have film. You know, that's one message that I wanted to drop out and leave with the younger generation right now is like, don't underestimate a good sports performance trainer. Don't underestimate a good coach. Don't underestimate being able to have you a videographer or photographer on hand to capture your film. Of course, the school, your coaches have access to huddle accounts and stuff like that. You can get film that way. But it's also very important to hire a professional to be able to come out and get these things done, even from the weight room and even to you actually performing and needing film and footage in your prospective sport, because that's the name of the game right now. Exposure is the name of the game. Right now, college coaches will still travel. They will still come out and see you, but it's much easier for them to type in your name on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, look up your page, see your personality, see how you are as a person, and then also just see if you can play ball. A lot of these coaches are reverting to social media. So just because you have been born into it, just because this is something that you already know to be true, do not take it for granted, because it was once upon a time when this wasn't true. It wasn't social media blooming like it is now. It wasn't a slew of videographers and photographers being able to come out and capture something like we do over at Sports Life United and then post the exact play right at the moment while the game is still going on. I kid you not, I had to really find out how to extract my individual plays from a DVD, put it all on one DVD, or figure out how to get it on one file and then send it out to coaches. It was extremely hard and complicated to do that back then. So, you know, don't take it for granted, because if you have access to it, it may be an oversaturated area, but that means that you shouldn't have an excuse about who you can choose or who you can pick to be able to help get you stronger and faster in your sport, and also help you gain exposure in your sport as well.